Some of the most horrific human crimes in history are marked by immense suffering, loss of life, and violations of human rights. These events often serve as stark reminders of the capacity for cruelty and injustice in human history. Here are several of the most devastating. The Holocaust, 1941 to 1945. Perpetrators, Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler. Estimated death toll, 6 million Jews, along with millions of others, including Romani people, disabled individuals, and political dissidents. The Holocaust was the systematic genocide of Jews and other minority groups across Europe. Victims were sent to concentration and extermination camps, such as Auschwitz, where they were subjected to inhumane conditions, medical experiments, and mass killings. The Transatlantic slave trade, 16th to 19th century. Perpetrators, European colonial powers and African collaborators. Estimated death toll. Over 12 million Africans were enslaved and transported to the Americas. Millions more died during capture or transport. Africans were kidnapped, sold, and forced into slavery under brutal conditions. The slave trade fueled European colonial economies, but left a legacy of racial injustice and inequality with untold human suffering. The Rwandan Genocide, 1994. Perpetrators, extremist Hutu militias and government forces. Estimated death toll, 800,000 Tutsi and moderate Hutu killed in 100 days. In 1994, ethnic tensions between the Hutu majority and Tutsi minority erupted into genocide. Hutu extremists sought to eradicate the Tutsi population, committing widespread atrocities including mass killings, rape, and torture. The Armenian Genocide, which took place from 1915 to 1923, was orchestrated by the Ottoman Empire authorities. An estimated 1.5 million Armenians lost their lives. During World War I, the Ottoman Empire systematically killed and deported Armenians, an ethnic minority within its borders. Armenians were marched to their deaths in the Syrian desert, and entire villages were massacred. Stalin's Great Purge, from 1936 to 1938, was carried out by the Soviet government under Joseph Stalin. Approximately 1 million people were executed, with millions more imprisoned or sent to labor camps known as gulags. Stalin's regime sought to eliminate political opponents, perceived enemies, and ethnic minorities in a campaign of terror. Thousands were executed or sent to gulags, where they perished from overwork, starvation, and brutal conditions. The Cambodian Genocide, which occurred from 1975 to 1979, was perpetrated by the Khmer Rouge regime under Pol Pot. The estimated death toll ranges from 1.7 to 2 million people, roughly 25% of Cambodia's population. Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge regime sought to create a communist agrarian utopia by forcibly relocating city dwellers to the countryside, where they were worked to death or executed. Intellectuals, professionals, and anyone deemed an enemy of the state were targeted. The Nanking Massacre, which occurred between 1937 and 1938, stands as a grim chapter in history. The perpetrators were the Imperial Japanese Army. It's estimated that between 200,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians and soldiers lost their lives. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, Japanese troops captured the Chinese city of Nanking, also known as Nanjing. What followed were mass executions, widespread rape, and rampant looting. This event is, without a doubt, one of the most horrific wartime atrocities in history. The Bosnian Genocide, from 1992 to 1995. Perpetrators, Bosnian Serb forces. Estimated death toll, over 100,000, including 8,000 Muslim men and boys in the Srebrenica massacre. During the breakup of Yugoslavia, Bosnian Serb forces sought to ethnically cleanse Bosnia of its Muslim population. Mass killings, concentration camps, and sexual violence were used as tools of terror. The Holodomor, from 1932 to 1933. Perpetrators, Soviet government under Joseph Stalin. Estimated death toll, 3 to 7 million Ukrainians. A man-made famine in Soviet Ukraine, largely seen as the result of Stalin's policies, including forced collectivization and grain requisition. Millions of Ukrainians starved to death while food was exported from the region. The Congo Free State Atrocities, from 1885 to 1908. Perpetrators, the regime of King Leopold II of Belgium. Estimated death toll 10 million Africans. Under King Leopold's rule, the Congo Free State became a brutal forced labor camp where Congolese people were exploited to harvest rubber. The regime was marked by extreme violence, including mass amputations, killings, and starvation. These events represent some of the darkest chapters in human history, marked by extreme violence, oppression, and systematic extermination. They continue to serve as a reminder of the importance of human rights, justice, and the need to prevent such atrocities from occurring in the future.